Hello everybody, my name is Bill and welcome back to another episode of the NCAA Football Dynasty Mode Explanations. We are now in week 8, we're more than halfway through the season, and all we gotta do is just make sure that everybody's getting ready for bowl season and who's going to make it into the championship game. We start off with the top 25 polls, with number 1 being McNair Central, number 2 Florida State, number 3 Ohio State, number 4 West Virginia, the number 5 team of the week in USC, Penn State at number 6, Texas 7, Tampa Bay 8, Colorado 9, 10th is Wisconsin, 11th is Arkansas. As you can see, Arkansas lost to Auburn and Wisconsin lost to Ohio State. Northern Illinois is 12th, 13th is Michigan, 14th is NC State, 15th is Oregon, and 16th is Nebraska. Losing to Tampa Bay. I think that was their. Yeah, that was last week. Okay. Hey, Minnesota losing to Penn State. Alabama, with Minnesota now being 17th. Alabama is 18th. 19th is Auburn. 20th is Arizona State. Oklahoma is 21st. 22nd is Iowa. They beat Michigan State. 23rd is Texas A&M. They are now ranked in the top 25. Oklahoma State's now 24th. And Florida is once again back in the top 25, with Michigan State and Virginia Tech being bumped out. And Michigan State's now 26th in the nation. In the media, it's McNair Central, Florida State, Ohio State, West Virginia. They say Texas should be number 5, 6 should be USC, 7th Penn State, 8th Tampa Bay, 9th Colorado, 10th Wisconsin, 11th Northern Illinois, 12th Arkansas, 13th Oregon, 14th Michigan, 15th Auburn, 16th NC State, 17th Arizona State, 18th Nebraska, 19th Texas A&M, 20th Oklahoma, 21st Oklahoma State, 22nd Alabama, 23rd Iowa, 24th Minnesota, and 25th Florida, with, of course, Michigan State and Virginia Tech still being bumped out. The bottom 10 teams for the week, I'll go and let y'all know. The number 1 is the presidential number 1 of the class, being good old San Jose State. And I went and put them into like the teams that have yet to score 100 points first. Well, I think I did that after I put Boston College at number 2, because they're still not showing why they deserved a bowl game last season. And that just upsetted me, because they took a spot away from some teams that actually deserved it, going 6-6 or like even 7-5, and yet they just weren't a bowl game because of them being the 6th best team of the ACC. At number 3, we have Army, maybe 1-5, and them having 89 total points. They just lost to Alabama 42-14. Army's also not that well known for having a good football team recently. They were one of the top teams back in like the 1900s through like the 1940s, 1950s, back when college football was still in its early days. But you see, their quarterbacks got a 1-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, so maybe they can be able to turn it around next season. Hopefully. Number 4, we have Mid Tennessee State, 8, which they have 92 points or, and you see their last game they lost to Kansas 45-10, and their next opponent is Florida Atlantic. And again, I talked about them a little bit in the last episode about them losing their quarterback, so hopefully they can be able to bounce back next season and do a bit better, and possibly avoid being I don't know what happens if you don't obey the 2-year probation and you just let the interest level rise up. Hopefully somebody will do that, and I'll find out. And at number 5, I have it being Purdue. Even though they're at 100 points for their entire season, they just have not been doing well, especially with them being in the Big Ten. Average attendance 45,000. Makes me wonder how much of that 45,000 is the opposing team in the stand. Opposing team's fans in the stands. The next game's against Northwestern, so that's going to be a somewhat interesting game. At number 6 is Kansas. They're 1-6, 0-3 in conference play. So they've had a bye week since the last episode as well. Getting ready for number 21, Oklahoma. At Oklahoma. So good luck with that. If they upset Oklahoma, that's going to be upset of the year right there. Excuse me. Number 7, it's Kentucky. Now, Kentucky's still on probation for violating the NCAA discipline policy or something like that in this game. The next game's against Mississippi State, which I don't think Mississippi State's even doing all that good. Never mind, Mississippi State's 4-2. So, yeah, I wish Kentucky a little bit of luck against them. Well, Mississippi State's doing real well as a 2-star program. They just gotta get through Auburn first before they get to Kentucky. And number 8 is the last of the 4 teams with under 100 points for the season. The Air Force. They're a 1-star program going against TCU next. And they're not really good at throwing the ball. Their quarterback has yet to even throw 100 times in the year. Well, he's also injured as well, so they're probably just going to focus a lot on the running back, considering the fact that he's already got 140 carries this season. And number 9, it's Fresno State, because they've just not been performing all that well this year. Even though, yeah, they are a 2-star school, they're normally one of the better lower teams in the game, which kind of surprises me why they're doing so bad. They've lost 5 in a row as well, so it's kind of interesting to see why they're not doing so good, considering that they normally do end up doing well. And at number 10, it's Idaho. So I see is that Idaho's going to be able to. They just had a win and they just suffered their 6th loss of the season, so they have to win out to be able to potentially even make a bowl game. That is, unless Boston College comes out of nowhere and snatches it, But I digress. Idaho, they are normally around here anyway. That just been throwing teams around left and right just to help pack up the bottom 10, because there being a few bad teams. A lot of teams see with 2 losses. With 2 wins. I kind of don't want to put 2-win teams on here just yet, if there's still teams with no wins or 1 win, And down for my favorite part of the episode, where the 5 key games. And we will start off with the final 2 teams in the bottom 10. Fresno State and Idaho. These 2 WAC conference opponents are in the first ever key game in this series involving 2 sub-500 teams. As I said, Fresno State's been underperforming based on their rating, as Idaho's been about par for the course. But I noticed one thing looking ahead to this matchup. The Vandals have scored 20 or more points in all but 1 game this season, as the Bulldogs Fresno State have only done it 4 times. This has been the hardest game for me to pick so far in this series. But I will say that Idaho will win this one, as it seems that 1st and 20 will win, and considering both defenses are allowing over 400 yards a game, somebody's going to get to 20 points very quickly. Anyway, and it will be the Vandals claiming win number 2 this year. For key matchup number 2, the old number 5 ranking curse that has been plaguing this channel for the past 3 episodes. A new number 5, a new victim of the curse for Arizona State and USC, with USC being the number 5 team in the nation now. Or will the Trojans have extra protection from it? They will benefit a little bit in this matchup with the starting quarterback for Arizona State being suspended for the first half due to academic reasons. But with an offense that's outside the top 50 with 380 yards a game, I don't think they can take much of an advantage. This will be a close game. I'll say it might even go into overtime. I think Arizona State will be the little Sun Devils they are, and USC's chances of making it to the national championship, continuing the curse, and possibly ending any chances of USC winning the Pac-10 this year, a feat the Sun Devils claimed last year, even after suffering a loss to Oregon, which Arizona State suffered a loss to Oregon this season as well. Will Arizona State still claim the Pac-10 championship even after losing to Oregon? Stay tuned to find out. And speaking of Oregon, they are next with UCLA in a battle of 2 undefeated teams in the Pac-10, both controlling their destiny in the conference. Like this could possibly decide who will win the conference this year. Oregon's been on a roll so far and is one of the best teams in the conference because they have the best offense and the third best defense in the entire conference. As for UCLA, they've been successful in conference play as well, heading into this matchup undefeated. Ratings wise, it'll be a close game. I looked at UCLA's schedule, and all the teams they've beaten in conference play have been around their ratings. So, good Oregon fall victim to this as well. I mean, I'd say it's going to be a close game and could go into overtime as well. But Oregon does have that high-powered offense that could easily carve up the Bruins' defense. I think the Ducks will fly away to a 2-possession win at home, stay undefeated in conference, and bettering their chances of winning the Pac-10. Now, matchup number 4 is between 2 Big 12 teams in Colorado and Texas A&M, with Texas A&M still being undefeated right now at 7-0. And this top 25 matchup features 2 guys that you would not expect to be college football head coaches, when you think about it. Because this game gave me an option to name the head coaches, and I went through and named all 119 of them. That took a while. And the 2 head coaches here, for Colorado, Snoop Dogg, and for Texas A&M, Johnny Manziel. Now, both teams are looking to keep any chances of reaching the Big 12 championship game alive, because Colorado has 1 loss in conference play already, and Texas A&M is undefeated, looking to stay that way and claim the Big 12 South. This could also be a potential rematch in the championship. The Yankees do have a better offense that's a bit reliant on the pass, as Colorado have a top 15 running game, a top 10 defense, and a top 10 defense that could slow down the Aggies' offense. I think Colorado will win this game, and I think after the game's over, Snoop and Johnny will go hit up a few parties. And the final matchup of the week will be between number 17, Minnesota, and number 3, Ohio State. This Big Ten matchup features a top 10 rushing offense against the 3rd best defense in the nation. Minnesota just suffered their first loss of the season last week against Penn State, a team Ohio State beat earlier this year. This will be a very close game between these two, as Ohio State is looking to remain undefeated and make it to the national championship. I don't think they will get it done against the Golden Gophers, as by the looks of things, they can stop the offense and win this game easily, but with Minnesota's defense being so tough, they will stay close in this game. And maybe even cause a few turnovers as well to keep the game close, but I don't think Minnesota's going to be able to pull away in this one. I think this will most likely be a low-scoring game, with your team getting close to their points per game average. And if it would get to that close of that high of a score, then it's going to be a very good game. And with that, I'll update y'all on the number of teams that are left undefeated, as with there being some teams being undefeated. Last week we had 15. This week we have only 10. McNair Central, Auburn, Iowa, Navy, Ohio State, Texas, Florida State, Northern Illinois, Texas A&M, and West Virginia. Those are our 10 undefeated teams left. Who will remain undefeated? Who will lose? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. I'm just kidding. And that's going to be it for this episode, and I will see you all next time.